Hey everybody, this is Stuart with Wine on the Dime, and today I'm at Parr Vineyards. I'm here in Mason, Texas, and I'm reviewing some wine, and specifically I'm going to be reviewing two of their wines today. So make sure you stay tuned to hear about their Marry Me Again and their 2015 Touriga Nacional. Hey everybody, so like I said, today I'm at Parr Vineyards in Mason, Texas, and I'm gonna be reviewing two of their wines. So let's do their Marry Me Again blend. I found this wine really interesting when I tried it in the winery, and I want to kind of share it with you. I mean, I wish you could smell it because it smells quite awesome. But first of all, let's get into the colors. So from a color standpoint, it's a medium ruby, no artifacts, no cloudiness. On the nose, so you get this slight hint of alcohol, a little bit of a volatile acidity coming on, but then you get this really nice kind of bright red fruit. You get some raspberry, you get a little bit of cherry. There's also a little bit of like a spiciness to it, like a little bit of like a cinnamon, maybe a touch of clove. Just, it has this really good earthiness as well. That was one of the reasons why I like this wine, is because I felt like all of those elements, the bright fruit, as well as some of the barrel notes, really kind of played well together in this wine. But how does it taste? All right, so there's a medium plus body, medium plus tannins, medium plus acid, which is really nice. The fruit has a really great kind of zinginess to it, and then it gives way to this earth. So on the nose, I'm not getting much earth, but on the palate, I'm actually getting a little bit of like sort of like a dry clay type of effect going on. There's also like just a slight hint of like a stale tobacco note. Yeah, so this wine is really cool. The tannins, they're slightly, for lack of a better word, particulate. Like it almost feels like the individual tannin molecules, you can kind of taste them in a way. They're a little bit sandy. I guess the tannins are sandy. I guess that's another way of saying it. But they're nothing that a little bit of age over a few years aren't gonna take care of if it's in the bottle. So if you end up buying a bottle of this, it'll be a good investment. There's enough acid, there's enough bright fruit, and there's also enough tannin to let this bottle age for a while and to develop some of those tertiary notes. So on that note, there aren't very many tertiary notes at all, just that little bit of earth. But like I said, this is one that can age for a while. So if I'm going through the Blick criteria on this one, for balance, full point, I think you're in balance. Length, medium finish, half a point. Intensity, you're medium on the nose, medium plus on the palate, so I'm gonna give you half a point overall. And then for complexity, I'm getting primary and secondary. I'm not getting any tertiary, but that's kind of to be expected with a wine that hasn't aged for a while, so I'm gonna give you half a point. Ultimately, that comes out to 2.5 points. I'm gonna give you good. I really do like this wine, and it's a fun wine, especially with the fact that it kind of has a bit of that volatile acidity when you first open up the bottle and you pour it in, but then it kind of mellows out, and then sort of the fruit really lifts up with the alcohol note on the nose. Man, it's a fun wine to drink. It really is, and I think if you stop by, you'll enjoy it. On that note, let's get to the 2015 Touriga Nacional. All right, so now I have the 2015 Touriga Nacional. Very different in terms of the nose on this one. So on this one, I am getting a little bit of a darker note. On that note, still a medium nose intensity. Oh, I guess I better do the color now, shouldn't I? So this is on the edge. This is close to going from ruby into garnet. So yeah, I'm still gonna give it ruby, but if you give it another maybe 2 years, this wine will be a garnet color for sure. Yeah, but this is very different. So this is more of a smoky wine. It has a little bit more of, while it still has the red fruit, I'm still getting a little bit of a raspberry, maybe a slight cranberry note. It also has a little bit of a black fruit note. So I'm almost getting like a hint of blackberry in it, maybe a little bit of black plum. Yeah, it's a little bit darker than this other one. It has a little bit more alcohol on the nose, but not too much. It also has a similar type of effect with the tobacco, but on this side, it's not necessarily stale tobacco, It smells more like a sweet tobacco, and on top of that, it also has a little bit of a barnyard effect going on here. Yeah, just a tiny bit of barnyard funk. For those of you who grew up in the country or have spent a lot of time in the country, when you drive by like a horse pasture and things like that, and you just get blown away with the smell from the pasture, take that down like 1,000%, and that's what you get, just slightly on the nose here. It's noticeable, but it's in no way offensive. It just adds the complexity of the nose. Let's get to the taste. Man, so alcohol, medium plus acid, almost borderline high, even for a 2015. Palate intensity, pronounced palate intensity. Body, medium body. Length, yeah, it's got a medium, maybe medium plus finish. So this wine is very different from the other one. So the other one was very kind of centralized. This one, it hits you up front really fast with that bright red fruit. Then it pulls back. That darker fruit goes from the approach into the mid palate, going into the finish. You get some of those earthy notes. You get some of that tobacco note going all the way from the mid palate into the finish as well. But it's sort of deceptively easy to drink in a way. So you're going to get that effect where you taste it up front, and it's going to kind of like welcome you in with all this bright fruit, but then the darkness of it hits you real fast. But it's not unenjoyable. It's a very interesting experience. It kind of plays with your palate in a fun way. So the fact that this wine has so much acid, being a 2015, shows that this could easily go for 5 years, maybe even 10. So if you're in the area, I definitely recommend that you pick up a couple bottles of this, because you're gonna wanna play with it as it ages. If you have a Coravin, you can kind of cheat and pick up less. If you don't have a Coravin, then just pick up like half a case and play with it like every 3 years until it gets to the right drinking age. But this is a wine you can drink now, but it also has potential to age. So from a Blick standpoint, from a balance, I think you're in balance, full point. Length, medium. I'm still gonna give you medium because I wasn't quite sure on the total time there. It was kind of bleeding into medium plus, but either way, it's not long, so you still get half a point. Intensity, gonna give you a full point. I'm getting medium on the nose, but I have a pronounced. It's kind of pulling you in, because after you've taken a sip, you can start to smell more of the elements out. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you a full point there. And then from complexity, still gonna give you half point. I get a lot of bright fruit clusters. I'm getting less barrel on this and a little bit more tertiary, but that's not a problem at all. It all ends up working out. So in the end, that gives you 3 points. I'm gonna give you very good. I like this wine. It's fun to drink, and I'm really stoked that it's a 2015 that has a good amount of acid on it, and it's from Texas, and it's not unaffordable. I'm quite happy with this. So if you're ever in Mason, Texas, make sure you stop by Parr Vineyards and try some of these bottles out for yourself. Anyway, this has been Stuart with Wine on the Dime. If you liked today's video, please like, subscribe, and comment. Have you been to Parr Vineyards in Mason, Texas? I'd be interested to know if you have. Leave a comment below, and I'll see y'all again soon with another episode from Wine on the Dime. In the meantime, it's really hot outside. It's like 100 degrees. So I'm gonna go inside where the air conditioning is and enjoy the rest of this wine before I head on out. Anyway, maybe I'll see you guys on my next trip out here. I hope I do. If you do see me, stop by and say hi. I'll see you again soon.